Morning, everybody. I am Chief Creative Officer Matt Wilson, and I want to welcome all of you to Lock and Load Game Fest 2017. As you can see, we've changed up the format this year. We've got a lot of things in store, a lot of things to show you this morning, and a whole bunch of stuff going on through the weekend. And I have one job to do right now, which is to introduce our hosts with the most. You know their sweet, succulent voices from Primecast. Game developer Will Hungerford and executive director Will Schick, also known as the Wills.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we've got a full plate for you guys this year. I got to stand above the black line. I immediately went behind the black line.
Yeah, just do what Tony said.
They were like, well, do one thing, stay in front of the line.
This keynote is, get comfortable.
Wait, I have to do my intro.
Oh, go ahead.
Welcome to the 2017 edition of Lock and Load, your only official place for everything privateer press. I'm your host, Will Schick, and this is my co-host, Will Hungerford.
Tony, play the drums. We're done.
He doesn't have the drums. If he did, that'd be amazing.
So we're about to sit down for about 45, 50 minutes, and we're going to show you a ton of stuff. Ton of stuff.
That might be a bit much. I think we clocked in at like 30.
Whatever.
But it depends how much we rattle. I mean, we could send it out right now. This is what we're doing.
Why don't you go and tell everybody sort of what we're about to see?
So we've got, like I said, we got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about new No Quarter Prime. You've probably heard a little bit about that. We're going to show some of the cool new artwork, talk about the stuff you can expect from it in the first issue. We're going to talk about Company of Iron and how it relates to No Quarter Prime a little bit. We're going to talk about a really cool new partner that we are going to be working with here in the very, very near future as of like today. We've also got some really cool stuff about organized play.
Yep, let everybody know what's coming.
We're going to talk about a cool new miniatures program that we're coming out with. Yeah, that has a lot of fun stuff for people who are into the hobby and like to collect really sweet miniatures. And then we're going to wrap it all up by basically showing you guys the next 6 theme forces, I think.
And then a little Christmas treat.
And then a little Christmas treat as well. So we've got all kinds of cool stuff. We've also got something popping up on the screen that's a little wrong. We've got a special note from our P3 hobby folks, Dallas and Brendan, about what to expect from their series coming up next. For those of you who've been watching it, it's been a lot of fun and been really awesome. Now I'm going to switch to my tiny cue cards because I came prepared.
Yeah, I didn't.
You did not.
No, I'm just here to talk.
I know. The problem is I also have a clicker, so like my hands are like totally full right now. So it's pretty sweet. All right, so to kick things off, we're going to be talking about No Quarter Prime. If my clicker works. Work, clicker. Work. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Sweet. We're on track. This is good. So No Quarter Prime coming in September. So with No Quarter Prime, obviously we put a lot of work and effort into basically reimagining the magazine. With our move away from basically printed command books and force books because of CID and kind of the rapidity in which we need to be able to address and adapt to the new system, which has been going great, I think. I mean, we've been active on the CID forums. We've seen a lot of good stuff come out of it. Grimkin launching here is the first kind of major test of the CID process, and we're really happy with the results.
If you participated in CID and you see Will Pagani, please give him a hug and tell him you're sorry. Pagani is standing in the back. Please raise your hand, Pagani.
Woo! Yeah, so No Quarter Prime, our vision for it, right, when we sat down to kind of reimagine it, was to make it the indispensable source for all things War Machine and Hordes, right? We wanted to make sure that it had all of the pertinent theme force, the lore, the background, the information that would correspond with the stuff that we were doing with CID and the releases that came out. To provide that stuff in a very timely and yet like evergreen way, right? Our goal is not to make a magazine that you're just going to treat as a magazine. We want to make basically bi-monthly source books that you're going to pick up and they're going to be loaded with like great game content on top of just the theme force stuff. My clicker wants to work. Do it? Yeah. So obviously the first theme force you're going to see is going to be the Trencher theme force. Now these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They're sweet. I love Trenchers.
I'm
so happy that we're doing Trenchers. And obviously those of you who participate in the CID hopefully are really excited for the Trenchers. But the Trenchers kind of provide a good kind of roadmap for what to expect from the theme force content that's going to dominate the No Quarter Primes. So you're going to see new artwork, obviously, like this sweet piece of art here. You're going to see all kinds of cool stuff in terms of their organization, here's a really cool shot of a trencher battle plan, how they construct trenches, things like that. So really, if you remember the stuff that we used to do if you were played in Mark 1 or Mark 2, kind of that faction-focused stuff that we used to do is now going to get expanded on, and you're looking at 36 to 40-some pages of content on just the theme force alone. And the really cool thing about that is it's not just lore information. We're also going to be doing really awesome scenarios. Yep. We're going to be talking about hobby content with like different paint schemes, the weaponry that they use, all kinds of really sweet stuff. Like this is one of my favorite things, which is where they just did a bunch of alternate company color schemes, right?
Yeah, which is
and it's
excellent.
Just for inspiration.
And the playable content, like you said, is really cool because it's not just the fluff. If you want to, there'll be different campaigns tied to each theme force. Some will be like mini campaigns where you play through 3 scenarios. Sometimes they're one-off. Sometimes they're big multiplayer. Whatever works best for that theme force. So along with this like wealth of information and lore, you're also going to get some playable content when the models are coming out.
Yeah, and some of those scenarios are my favorite, right? Like the stuff that we did for Grimkin is kind of a precursor to what you're going to see for the theme force stuff. Yeah. So you've got things that are traditional War Machine games, you've got multiplayer games, you've got things that aren't traditional War Machine games where it's like take these War Machine models and run away from a campfire where Grimkin are trying to eat your face.
Right.
So tons of like really cool and fun content that's going to be useful to you even if you don't play trenchers, right? That's kind of our goal. Yeah, if you love trenchers, it's going to be awesome. But if you want something a little bit more, you definitely have that as well. Now, on top of the theme force stuff, we have something I know it's near and dear to your heart, which is the no-quarter games.
Y'all just keep letting me do things.
So for those of you who have done, what are some of the great ones? Grind.
Extreme Colossal
Wrestling, which
Raiders.
we had too much fun with, and I think they made us stop.
Engines of Destruction, which is the Battle Engine Derby one.
I was going to say that one is
soon?
now? I think now.
Close.
This no quarter, right?
Yeah, no quarter.
Yeah, so if you ever wanted to drive your battle engine around in destructive derby style, you got that.
But one of the big ones coming out in No Quarter Prime later on this year is going to be the new release of Unbound. So,
you set me up and you fooled me. I was like, oh, I got this, and it worked. And then it's Unbound, and I'm like,
that's not Unbound.
Oh, you gotta hurt me, dog. No. All right, so talk about Unbound.
Yeah. So
wait, we're gonna reverse.
So obviously, we'll talk about it later. We've got Company of Iron coming, right? So you'll be able to play War Machine at sort of the smaller skirmish level. Then we've got the War Machine and Hordes we all know and love and we've played forever. And we are making a new Unbound that's going to play a lot smoother and a lot quicker than the old version used to play. So if you want to throw down 150 points and be able to play in a few hours, you'll be able to do that now. And we're really balancing out. We understand what happens when feats overlap with each other and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it opens up some opportunities in the future to be able to do linked campaigns that start at Company of Iron, go to War Machine, and end in Unbound. So you'll be able to use all aspects of your collection very soon.
So while Unbound isn't coming in the September issue, what is coming is also pretty darn exciting. Now, of course, my clicker doesn't work because this is my life.
I said play the drums.
No! Oh, my God. This is the worst. Okay. So the first new No Quarter Prime game is going to be a fully included Strange Light Workshop IK RPG adventure. So it's going to come with characters. It's going to come with the whole shebang, everything you need. Even if you don't own the RPG, you're going to be able to take that article, sit down, and play a fun little mini adventure that's going to take like 2 to 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And live the Strange Light. And it's going to explore kind of the Strange Light workings. It's going to give you more background on that cool organization, especially in lieu of the Grimkin and Wicked Ways that just came out. So I'm really excited to see that one out there. So they're not always going to be War Machine and Horde centric, but they are always going to be Iron Kingdom centric. And so that's going to be really fun, I think, in a way to explore stuff as well, including things like Unbound or more extreme colossal wrestling, because there's never enough wrestling in our office.
No.
Never.
We need a belt, by the way.
We do. Some
Aaron,
kind of award.
Aaron de Broughton, are you in
there
here?
There you go. Challenge.
I need a belt.
Another one of the really cool things that's going to be coming out in No Quarters, we're going to be redoing the entire narrative of the War Machine and Horde saga. And we're going to be doing this in a really fun way called, Fire and Forge. And so Fire and Forge, basically, if you imagine if you ever wanted to see Ken Burns do a take on War Machine and Horde's history, that's the goal with the article Fire and Forge. So it's going to be historical kind of like narrative. It's also going to have firsthand accounts. This is going to be penned by our writers Doug Seacat and Matt Getz. And it's going to start basically from the invasion of Lael, and it's going to move forward in time and catch us up to the current thing. So if you came in Mark II, or you're even new to us now, thank you for coming to your first lock and load. You guys are great. You're going to have a chance. Yeah, woo! Woo! You guys are going to have a chance to basically, through this article series, compile and discover the entire history. And even for you guys who are veterans and have read the lore like extensively and think you know it all, we're going to be throwing in tidbits and fun new looks at the different events as they happened. Yeah. They're going to expand the understanding of that stuff. So that's going to be really awesome to have on the shelf throughout your War Machine Hordes career. We also have one that I know that you're excited about, I really love, which is Hostile Territory.
Sure, yeah.
So Hostile Territory.
I was actually agreeing.
Yeah. So Hostile Territory is based off of an old article series that Hungerford used to do, where they take a terrain piece that they built, and they would create a scenario and special rules for it.
Yep.
So this kind of takes that idea and it amps it up. So it shows you like these really cool variant terrain pieces. Some of them will be tied to the Company of Iron content that we're going to talk about in a bit. Some of them will be tied to the War Machine Horde Steam Force content.
Some of them could become Steamroller legal.
Some of them could become Steamroller legal. Regardless, we're gonna show you a really cool piece of thematic terrain. We're going to show you how to build it, and then we're going to give you rules and scenarios to play with it. Yep. And so again, the new No Quarter Prime is all about expanding your gameable content and to really increase kind of the options you have when approaching the game and being that evergreen resource that you want. The last really big thing. No, that's right. Yeah. I think we're good. We're going to call it right.
So basically, No Quarter Prime, if you play any of our games or like anything we do, you should pick up that magazine because, you know, we might see books come out whenever we release like a new faction in the future, but this is going to be the one-stop shop for everything we do and all our content. So this September comes out. It's the first issue. Make sure you pick it up. Don't miss out on it. Jump in day one. Because in issue 1, Elish.
Yeah. So he is our set. If you guys know anything about the Black River Regulars, either from the Skull Island Expedition novels or the inception of the IKEA RPG, the Black River Regulars were kind of our pre-gen, like, here's an intro into the setting and to the RPG kind of feel overall. Well, we've been really excited to find places to stick these guys in to the actual War Machine Hordes miniatures game. We started with Colby last year, and now we've got Eilish. And
he's in CID right now.
He is in CID right now.
And he's straight busted.
he may need a little bit of work, but we got some time. We got a little bit of time.
Well, once we sell issue 1, we'll fix him.
There you go.
So, yeah, boy, sorry.
I'm just going to gloss over that. In every print issue of the first run, Eilish the Occultist is going to be included. So for $9, you get yourself an awesome new magazine, and you also get yourself a busted model, apparently.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we fix that before the issue actually comes out, though.
Yeah.
It seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah. It's the moral thing.
The cool thing with
do.
Eilish, though, is, you know, if you've checked out CID, is that he works for every faction.
He works for every faction, including Grimkin.
Correct.
I have a quick question.
What?
What do they pay in?
Knowledge.
Okay. Grimkin pay in
or
knowledge?
Or sweet, sweet candies. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want it.
Take your pick. It's fine. Eyeballs. Yeah, depending. All right, so the last big thing we want to cover with No Quarter Prime is Company of Iron.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a chance to get hands-on with Company of Iron this Sunday at the Hangout. Don't miss it. It's going to be with the developer who was lead on it, William Oz Schoonover, yet another fellow Will.
Yep.
I don't know if you're going to be there, too. You might be. Somebody might be.
Yeah, maybe.
There'll be other people there as well.
No.
Regardless, Company of Iron is our awesome new skirmish-level game. Basically, it's War Machine and Hordes, but drilled down to where your individual soldiers are your heroes, and you're going to fight it out on a small-scale battle. You've played it, or you talked about it a bit at Origins.
Yeah, and I've played a ton of it. And one of the things that's really important is when you get Company of Iron, there's a mechanic in the game. You have a deck of cards you use, and you have a hand size that sort of gives you these different abilities. Depending on the models you pick, some models are just better in Company of Iron than others, so your hand size might go up or down. So you're probably asking, well, when new models come out for the game, how are we going to add to this ever-growing list? Well, that's what No Quarter Prime is going to be for. All the updates to Company of Iron and tons of new content for it in terms of scenarios will be coming in No Quarter Prime.
And we're going to do a lot of fun things like playing off the theme forces for War Machine and Horde, so you're going to see content that kind of says, here's how you take this theme force, integrate it into your Company of Iron ideas and stuff like that, through the scenarios, through different maybe special rules depending on the theme force and how it works.
Yep.
So yeah, so Company of Iron is really going to grow and expand through No Quarter Prime because we're really excited about it in the office, and it's just a great new expression of the War Machine Hordes experience. And thus far, we played it at the Invitational yesterday, and everyone was having a lot of fun. It looked like, I know, you took a couple people to school with your Pendrick, Gator,
I
posse.
win every demo I play.
That makes you a great demoer.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
So you just
exactly.
beat up on them.
You just tell them whatever you want, right? You'd be like, no, you don't get any cards this turn. I get all the cards.
I can't win against normal people.
So yeah, again, new No Quarter Prime hits the shelves this September. You can get it in on subscription now.
Yep.
And make sure you don't miss an issue. You can check it out at your local gaming store. Again, the Eilish model is only going to be available in the first run, but this issue is just going to be loaded with everything that's great and awesome, and we're really looking forward to all the ideas we have to expand it and really build out the rest of the line and the year and everything else that's all good about all that stuff. So no quarter.
No quarter.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think you're up now.
Yeah, it's time to buy.
I finally get a break.
Yeah, here, hand me the clicker. It's going to work for me.
It probably will. Wait, I can make it not work.
Stop. No, don't twerk on me on stage. So real fast, everybody, we're going to go through some of the organized play offerings coming up in 2017 because there's a bunch of dope stuff coming. All new Steamroller Masters and Champions drops this Monday. I'm sure everybody knows that. It was in the CID. The new season starts. Just in case you haven't heard, the Iron Gauntlet format is going away. Instead, every officially approved Masters and Champions event is a qualifier for the Iron Gauntlet. They give points. If you get 10 points, you know you are qualified to come participate in the World Finals each year at Lock and Load. The format of that will change between Masters and Champions each year. So we know now you don't have to worry about will I be qualifying last second. You'll know well in advance so you can plan to come. The Grimkin release event is hitting stores very, very soon. After this keynote, a bunch of us are going right over there behind that air wall. We're going to play the Boar's Gate event, and we're going to find out which Holden we have. Do we have good, living, Grimkin killing Holden, or do we have evil, Hollow Man Holden?
Apparently we know evil is in this year.
Well, unless they're playing in that, they can't influence it.
I'm pretty sure those players will take bribes.
They will.
They're going to be real hungry come like hour 3 and probably thirsty. And there's concessions like right out there. And it's not that much for a soda. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, if they want to take bribes, they can't stop them.
Exactly. It's the Grimkin
during this
way.
single-day casual event, you'll get to play with both versions of Holden, the early drafts of him. Of course, he'll probably be going through CID later, so he might change a bit. But you'll get to play with the version that will be and the version that never, ever, ever will be ever because he's dead. So leagues are changing. Used to, they were multiple seasons across an entire year. Now we're reducing leagues to 1-month mini leagues that are self-contained, so you can jump on at any point and not have to worry about playing in an earlier season. The first one is going to be Rotten Bounty.
What's Rotten Bounty about?
It's basically the Grimkin have mucked everything up, and this is how people are reacting to going, oh, nightmares are real now. That's neat. I was dealing with werewolves and dragons, but that's cool. Let's fight that,
now you
too.
have to deal with gnomes with pigs on their backs.
Well, those are the best part. One of the prizes in this kit, and the reason you want to play with it, is every single person that plays at one in a store gets a gremlin model from the Death Knell, one of the ones playing the instruments that you get to use to decorate any of the models you have as a memento that you participated in Rotten Bounty.
I believe that those are the best models.
Yeah, so get the tuba one. He's the best.
No, it's the trombone one. What's wrong with you, you monster?
I used to play tuba when I was a fat kid. No. One that we slightly glossed over, we will also be having Longest Night. Longest Night 2017 is coming back this October, and it is all about playing games, bringing candy, costume contests. If you ever played in the old Longest Night, it is definitely a Halloween-themed event. This is another single-day casual event where you'll be able to hang out, play with friends, bring your family, bring the kids, get everyone to dress up, and just and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Feast of the Fallen in November is going to be the next mini league, and one of the cool things about this one, it'll be the first one to have Company of Iron League support in it. Now, talking about Company of Iron, just so everyone knows, we are not going to be putting out a steamroller for Company of Iron. In fact, we're not going to put out any competitive organized play for Company of Iron because Company of Iron is meant to be played as a narrative, casual-style game. That lets us do cool things like add in brand new cards into league events that are playable in your Company of Iron games. They can be legal anytime that you and your friends agree you can use them. So we'll be adding foil Company of Iron Commander upgrade cards into the Feast of the Fallen kit.
They're so shiny.
They are. Foil cards are dope.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's not working for you.
So, Summer Rampage came back this year. Longest Night's coming back this year. And we're introducing a new one, Winter Rampage. So just like Steamroller Masters and Champions get updated every year, we are adding, and Journeyman, we're adding 3 staples to our casual organized play. There will always be a Summer Rampage, a Longest Night, and a Winter Rampage every year. These will be single-day events. Single-day events that promote not only you coming in and playing games of War Machine, but a lot of them will have side games so you can bring your friends and your family to show up so they can do something while you're tossing around your tiny menses and blowing them up. And we will have a lot more to announce coming in next year, so That's the brief overview of the organized play coming up soon.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Thank you, Mr. Hungerford. I'll
You're
take
welcome.
my broken clicker back.
Don't trip.
All right. So we talked a little bit about the P3 stuff that we wanted to cover. We have a really short message about the P3 hobby series. If you don't know what I'm talking about, earlier this year, I think around March, April, our intrepid studio painters, Dallas, Brendan, and our social community video guy, John, and our video producer, Tony, got together and they worked out how to create this awesome new tutorial series and kind of learning series about how to paint miniatures, because guess what? That's something that we all probably think about at least once in our lives.
And some techniques we never really knew before, like super metallics.
Yes, like
Which
super
were-
metallics was
yeah.
one of the really great ones, and I've used that extensively on most of my models.
Yeah, me
But,
too.
you know, everything from the beginner series, how do I assemble a model, right? If you don't have somebody to show you how to do that, or even if you do and you're sitting at home, you're like, you might have forgotten because you were paying attention to other things because your eyes glossed over, or the cyanide in the super glue kind of...
You're
They're
really
fumes.
selling
They're
it right
fumes.
now, man.
Exactly. I'm just saying, it's good to have resources, and these are amazing resources. You know, season 1 was a huge hit. We saw a lot of really positive feedback, people asking for a bunch of different ideas on what they'd like to see, things they needed help with, and our studio guys are more than happy to comply and try to help out. And so season 2 is going to be on the way after Lock and Load, but we wanted to give you a little sneak peek, and if you haven't watched the videos or don't think the videos are for you, I'd like you to watch this short little message from the guys to tell you why they are for everybody, and hopefully you'll be convinced to go back, check out season 1, and be sure to tune in and subscribe for season 2.
It's no use. Painting is just too hard.
Are you feeling defeated by painting miniatures? Are you baffled by the brush? Then try the all-new Formula P3 Super Video Super Series. Alleviate your painting woes and learn to paint like the pros. That's right, little painter. You too can learn the 3 Ps of painting: patience, practice, and perseverance. Don't believe me? Let's hear from a satisfied customer.
I used to paint like this, but now I paint like this. Thanks, Formula P3.
Confidence. Choose from top-notch topics such as brush control, painting trollkin flesh, thematic basing, and more. With this revolutionary new series product, you too can level up your painting game with just 3 easy installments of absolutely free. Did I say free? Heck yeah, it's free! At no cost to you, the Formula P3 Presents Super Video Super Series allows you to learn from the comfort of your own home. Or a friend's home. Not a stranger's home. That's weird and illegal? Probably. Yeah. Formula P3 Presents is the video series for beginning and experienced painters alike. Learn new skills, painting tricks, or brush up on the hobby. Do not miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Grab your favorite brush, grab your favorite miniature, and subscribe today.
I got nothing more to say on that.
That is the best thing you've ever done, Dallas. And that includes your child, Zane. Like, that is the best thing you've ever made.
Poor Zane. So the Formula P3 series is designed to help you guys and everyone who's interested in painting miniatures at all paint better. Well, I'd like to really introduce our next new partner, who's also designed to lend out a helping hand, to give you a bit of advice when you need it, and to get you out of those tough, let's go call them quandaries, when they happen at the table. Hey, Alexa.
Hello, Will, and hello, Lock and Load 2017 attendees.
Alexa, do you know what we're doing today?
Yes, today we are announcing my new war machine and Horde's War Room skill.
That's right. Alexa, open War Room and show the world what you've been learning.
Welcome to War Room for Alexa Commander. With War Room, I can answer questions about rules, card stats and abilities, and run probabilities for dice rolls. What can I assist you with today?
War Room for Alexa, can you give your answers? War Room for Alexa can give you answers to rules that you have at the table at any time. All you have to do is ask Alexa to open War Room, to power it up. So let's go ahead and say an easy one. Hey, Alexa, can you tell me what power up is?
A warjack with a functional cortex that is within its controller's control range gains 1 focus point during the control phase.
Okay, easy question, right? Let's try something a little tougher. Alexa, ask War Room how Frenzy works.
When a model frenzies, it immediately activates. Without being forced, it automatically shakes knockdown, stationary, and any other effect that can be shaken. A frenzied war beast also ignores effects that would cause it to forfeit its normal movement or combat action during an activation in which it frenzies. It immediately charges directly toward the closest model in its line of sight, without being forced, even if the closest model is a friendly model. The frenzied war beast cannot voluntarily stop its movement before contacting its charge. It makes one attack against the model charged with the highest power melee weapon that has range to the target. The attack roll is automatically boosted. If the war beast moved at least 3 inches during the charge, the attack is a charge attack and its damage roll is boosted. A frenzied war beast cannot make assault ranged attacks or additional attacks. At the end of the war beast's frenzy activation, it is no longer frenzied and you can remove any number of fury points from it.
All right.
Did I just get fired?
We'll talk later. All right, so the core rules are a pretty basic thing, and they're static, right? It's pretty easy to be like, all right, I can ask this skill to tell me a rule when I need it to. How about specific models? You're just wandering around the house, you're in your kitchen, all of a sudden you're like, I think Striker 3 is pretty cool, right? I wonder what spells he has. Alexa, ask War Room what spells Striker 3 has.
Lord General Coleman Stryker has the spells Arcane Bolts, Chain Blast, Escort, Fury, and Iron Aggression.
Hey Alexa, what are the rules for Fury?
Fury is cost 2, range 6, with upkeep. Target friendly faction model / unit gains +3 to melee damage rolls but suffers -1 def.
So you can give me all the rules, right? It can tell you what spells are. It can tell you what abilities models have. How about that age-old question? Should I boost?
Yeah.
Should I not boost?
Yeah.
Can I hit that thing
Yeah.
without just rolling all 6s? Alexa, can you tell me what the chance is to hit a Def 18 Sorsha with Mat 6 on 3 dice?
You have a 37.5% chance of hitting, with a 18.06% chance of a critical hit.
Good enough for government work.
Do you want Skynet? Because this is how you get Skynet.
Oh, we're not done. We're not done. Thanks, Alexa. So what else are you learning to do with War Room?
I am also learning how to teach the game to brand new players with my demonstration mode. Soon I will be able to walk anyone through the basics of War Machine and Hordes. My ultimate goal is to become the definitive table rules resource and judge assistant for War Machine and Hordes players around the world.
Thanks, Alexa.
This is why I didn't get to rehearse this part.
I wanted you to be surprised like everyone else. I gotta get my clicker out now. I gotta get my clicker out. Somehow.
You are going backwards.
How am I? Oh, I got it backwards. Oh no.
Now we are going
User
forwards.
errors. There we go. So obviously, the Alexa skill set is being brought to us by both Amazon Alexa and our new partners, Monocle Society, who have done amazing stuff with the Ask Alexa skill set, and we're so excited to work with them. They are consummate War Machine and Hordes players. They know the game inside and out, and it's been great just in the few months to get this skill set up and running. And here, right now, like I said at the start, we're basically announcing and launching the beta of War Room for Alexa. And you can register right now. There's a limited number of beta keys, but people here, I believe, get priority, as well as anybody out in the world who wants to sign up. Mm-hmm. There's a quick quiz that we're going to ask you. Basically, do you have an Echo device because you need one, or something that's Alexa compatible for later on? But we're really excited about this. Like, it's one of those things where we're going to remove some of the difficulties in getting into the game through Alexa. Our goal is to make the play experience smoother, faster, and better with this skill set. And the folks at Monocle Society have the vision and really the technical expertise to do this. They're on the cutting edge of the Alexa stuff. And we're so happy to be working with them. So please, if you're interested in it at all, if you want to have Hungerford with a sweet, sweet lady voice in your house that will answer you whenever you ask, sign up for the beta. Help us test this out. Let us get War Room for Alexa going so that we can bring even more people into this wonderful hobby and this great community by making the game funner, faster, and easier to pick up.
Yeah, and this thing, I've never been more hyped because for streaming, for any of our people out there who do battle report streaming, this is going to be amazing. It helps you just keep going the whole time. You don't have to stop and look up a rule book. You never have to pause anymore. And as you mentioned, for new players, this is one of the ultimate resources. So if you want a beta, you're actually helping us out a lot. Because I have a new player with an Echo sitting at their desk, being able to answer all these questions for them without having, any sort of like other person that knows the game is going to bring a lot of new people in a very smooth transition. So we're super hyped for this.
Yeah, and you'll notice that we named it War Room. Well, why would we name it War Room? Because our long-term goal, though it won't be in this version of the beta, is to have it sync with War Room on your device. So when you talk to Alexa, if you have Alexa on your smart device, you're going to be able to say, hey, War Room, we just talked about Striker 3. Open this card in War Room, and it's going to bring up the card in War Room for you. So we have a lot of really awesome potential for this thing, and we're really looking forward to doing it. And you're going to get to see the beta happen live on Sunday during our last Penny Arcade Plays game.
Oh, nice.
We're going to have it at the table, and we're going to be using it through the game to help answer anybody, Jamie or Kiko's questions that they may have. So if you want to see it in action, check it out. We're really excited. I hope you guys take it, run with it, and help us make this thing the best it can be and really break new ground in the tabletop gaming industry. So next up, I need to bring Matt Wilson back up to talk a little bit about our fantastic new miniatures line that we're doing and all the special things about it. All right, so
we're here to talk about Mini Crate.
we are.
All right.
You want this?
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do it.
Seems like this has been
You got it.
It's been a little sketchy for people.
Just me. Really, I'm the only one who's messed it up twice.
Okay. I forgot what order the slides are in. So, Mini Crate is a brand new subscription service where we're going to be delivering a brand new exclusive miniature to you every month. If you've ever been interested in any of the online exclusives that we've done that are reimaginings of the characters from War Machine and Hordes, these are going to fit right in with that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The neat part about Mini Crate, though, well, besides the cool miniatures, is what we're going to do after we do a run of miniatures. So each of these miniatures is going to be made once. Like I said, there'll be a new one every month. And once we run the production run on it, based on the subscriptions, we're going to destroy the molds in the most spectacular fashion we can. So we're going
Most legal fashion we can.
Well, or maybe, we're going to ask Dallas to bring that weathering widget back, see what that does to a silicon mold.
You're going to do that at your house, Dallas.
Maybe we're going to see, what happens when you put a silicon mold in fire, acid. I don't know. Maybe probably take some suggestions from the audience on what we could do. And we're going to video all this, and we'll put it online so that you can enjoy it and watch it while you're painting your miniature. So we'll show a couple of previews of things. Mini Crate's going to kick off in October. That's when we're going to be shipping the first crates. And so up until September 19th, you can subscribe if you want to get in on the first miniature. And that first miniature is the Swamp Siren. So you can see this is a reimagining of the Swamp Horror from the Minions and Hordes. All of the models are going to be playable in War Machine and Hordes, just like most of our exclusives.
All of our exclusives, yeah,
have been. And so this is just the first example. So let's see, we got another one.
It should, if it goes.
Here's the Plaid Piper of Ord. In case you guys are getting tired of looking at that barefoot Piper of Ord. So we got a new one. And she's just a little bit of new styling on that character. And then, let's see. So there's two types of subscriptions, right? Mm-hmm. You can subscribe month to month. You can cancel anytime. And it's super easy to do through the portal system that we've worked out. Mm-hmm. Or you can do a 6-month VIP subscription, which will get you access to various special offers and promotions that we'll be doing throughout the year, as well as it gets you a free bonus figure in your first shipment, which is free bonus figure.
Crates.
The wolf in sheep's clothing. Which no one can live without.
Hold up. I have some really mixed emotions about that swamp siren, but there's a more important question I have. Where's the beef?
The beef. Yes, we've heard the call for beef from Hungerford. You may as well stay. You're going to be taking this back here in a second. We're real early into the exploration on that, but we did have a few early sketches so we can show you guys some ideas of the characters that we're going to be doing that are not just the ladies. Here's a few. We've got Harley Versch on the way, Bloody Bradigan Pitt, Alton Van Helsing, and these are just some early ones. These are going to be coming out throughout the year. So we're having fun with the characters. The goal is to make a really cool artistic model, so anybody who is a diehard collector of miniatures and loves the hobby will have something new to experience. So that's Mini Crate, and you can subscribe at mini-crate.com.
Right now.
Right now. In
Right
fact,
now.
That site is live.
Get the phones out. Sign up. No, we're really looking forward to it. We've had a lot of fun concepting ideas. We have a list, like Matt showed, the beefcake stuff that we've been working on recently. We have a list that's like 5 email chains long, honestly.
Hundreds of ideas.
And we take submissions. So if you see us at a place
got an
and have an idea,
hit us up on Twitter.
Find
us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be Mike Ryan making puns.
No.
We get these.
No.
I'm going to turn it back over to you. Because we got fun stuff now.
We do.
Hold up. Are you guys hype about Mini Crate, though? I mean, we make cool miniatures, so it's cool that we're making more cool miniatures.
Yeah. And they'll come to your house.
Is it time?
In a box.
Is it time?
It is time.
Is it time?
It is time. All right, so you guys have listened to us ramble a lot about a lot of cool things. However, I think it's time that we get into it.
Yep.
And we kind of reveal. There have been a lot of questions. What's coming next for CID? What's the schedule look like? What can we expect? What's new for my faction?
What's new for my faction?
Whoa. All right, then. Unfortunately, I have to abide by that because what's new for your faction is in the video. That said, I know. I can't spite him all the time because it hurts everybody else. However, instead of having us ramble and me fail at technology, apparently, which is real sad, we actually spared no expense, and we hired a very special individual from the Iron Kingdoms to give you guys an overview of what's coming and to give you some really critical intelligence that only he could provide.
Near constant conflict over the past 10 years has forced the militaries of the Iron Kingdoms and the wild tribes of Eminent to continue to evolve their approach to warfare as they battle for supremacy, domination, and survival. As the nature of warfare has become more specialized, so too have the armies which each nation brings to bear. Within the greater whole of each stand numerous specialized divisions built around specific warrior traditions and who excel at certain types of warfare. These so-called theme forces include armies such as Signar's hard-bitten Trencher Corps, the frontline soldiers of any Signaran engagement. The Trencher Corps employs a wide variety of weapons and tactics, allowing them to serve as both assault and defensive specialists. Commonly known as gravediggers, the intense training regime of the Trenchers can transform ordinary citizens into some of the toughest and most professional soldiers found anywhere in the Iron Kingdoms. As Signar continues to evolve its military to meet the challenges of the many enemies it faces, Trencher divisions have become a vital part of Signar's military strategy. Other such theme forces include armies forged not by training, but by geographic location and societal traditions, like the fiery armies of the northern-dwelling Trollbloods, known as the Northkin. Hailing from the frigid and snowy northern reaches of the Iron Kingdoms, the hardy and drink-loving Northkin Trollbloods call upon not only their tribal warriors, but also the local fauna itself. Fierce Arctic bears trained and outfitted for war, Full-blood trolls whose physiology has adapted them to command the power of cold and ice. None more terrifyingly so than the massive Glacier Kings. Bound together by ancient traditions, a love of strong drink, and an even greater love of fighting, the North can bring the fury of the winter storm and crushing avalanche crashing down upon any who dare threaten their kith and creel. There are, of course, many more of these unique organizations, each one having as unique an approach to war as the troops and weapons of war that comprise it. In an era of war such as this, knowledge is the greatest weapon any general can wield. And while the information I, Gavin Kyle, the greatest intelligence agent and spy of the modern era, am about to disclose to you comes at far from a modest fee, I trust you realize that what I bring you is worth every penny, as always. Prowling the vast seas of the Meridius, Crix's infamous Black Fleet strikes both ship and shore with impunity, sowing terror and death in the name of their god, the Dragon Father, Torok. There are many among the Nightmare Empire who would gladly serve Torok with their lives, willingly bending a knee to the dragon in return for the opportunity to amass power and wealth through merciless acts of carnage and violence. Most numerous among the crews of the Black Fleet are the Shard Pirates, humans who have cast their lot with Crix. Armed with short-range but powerful guns known as deck sweepers, the Shard Pirates are at their deadliest when led by an officer who has learned the hard way what it takes to survive and prosper while navigating the brutal life of the Black Fleet. But the Black Fleet is made up of more than just savage reavers. Practitioners of black magic, the Shard Dirge Seers, can often be found amid the screaming and writhing hordes of Black Fleet pirates, darting among the fray with unnatural grace as they end the lives of their enemies with a flick of bladed fingers before drawing upon the fallen's life force to empower their vile spells. Few beings are more bloodthirsty or crueler than the terrifying Blighted Trollkin, who serve as the penultimate shock troops of the Black Fleet, with their feared blood gorgers carving through enemy troops in an orgy of blood. Though the Blighted Trollkin are physically powerful and terrifying to behold, the brutal and violent life they lead means that few survive to claim positions of authority or power in the fleets. Those who manage to rise to prominence, like Jusica Bloodtongue, do so based purely on their intense brutality and wicked cunning. When surrounded by her chosen cadre of bloodgorgers, Jusica earns her reputation anew based on the gruesome carnage she leaves in her wake. Then there are the Black Ogryn, standing above even the hulking Blighted Trollkin. Their size, strength, and callous disregard for weakness has long served them well in the unforgiving Black Fleet. Strong enough to heft the heavy cannons of warships, the Black Ogryn Smog Belchers support the Black Fleet forces as mobile cannoneers. Their Smog Belcher cannons are capable of blasting apart ships and men alike. The caustic powders used in their ammunition leave behind an oily black fog that obscures sight, acting as a perfect screen while the rest of the Black Fleet forces advance. The cruelty of the Black Fleet knows no limits. Long used as a punishment for piracy, the gibbets once used to ward people away from the buccaneering life have now been repurposed by the Arcanist of the Black Fleet and imbued with dark power to serve as yet another tool in their arsenal. Leading the pirates of these cursed crews are the fearsome Satixis warriors, Axiara Wraithblade and Scar, Admiral of the Black Fleet. As Scar's right hand, Axiara commands complete loyalty from those that serve in the Black Fleet, and her tactical acumen and leadership has helped to forge the Black Fleet into a formidable navy. Despite its motley crew, it is more than the equal of any of the more professional mainland navies. The undisputed master of Crix's Black Fleet, Scar Ravenmane, Queen of the Broken Coast, rides upon the tides of fate to deliver the will of her master, Torok. Her mastery over the skeins of fate is unquestionable, and with it, she manipulates even the smallest events to ensure her ultimate victory. Rising from the deepest swamps of the Iron Kingdoms, the Blindwater congregation marches forth to drown the world in blood and death for their master, their newly anointed demigod. Comprised of savage GATORMAN tribes, as well as bog trogs and croaks subjugated to the congregation's will, the Blindwater congregation stands as a primal force spawned in an older, more sinister age. one in which the powers of death and bloodshed were freely embraced. And indeed, among the terrifying ranks of the Blindwater congregation walked the dead. Bloated and distended, the Gatorman HUSK is a creeping, crawling testament to the gruesome command Gatorman mystics possess over death itself. Reanimated by the Bokor's dark magic, the dead flesh of the chosen Gatorman is then stuffed to bursting with all manner of vicious bugs and insects indigenous to the Gatorman's swampy home. Within their macabre sack, these trapped insects seethe and wriggle, becoming increasingly agitated until some inevitable battlefield trauma releases the swarm to vent its fury upon anyone unfortunate enough to be nearby. Another undead creation of the insidious Bokors, the Gatorman Soul Slave is bound to serve its warlock master well beyond death. Its decaying flesh and bones are imbued with potent stores of arcane power that its master can call upon during battle, granting the warlock the ability to perform magical feats far greater than his mortal skills allow. The only thing Gatormen love more than fighting is feasting, but in their uniquely vile way, they have actually found a method to combine both passions. Boiling and writhing with unnatural energies, the Boil Master and Spirit Cauldron blur the line between who is master and who is servant. In practice, it is the Boil Master who summons forth and binds the tormented spirits of the Spirit Cauldron. Yet, one need only see the malevolent spirits writhe and spit their fury upon the battlefield to know it is the Boil Master who truly serves his cauldron, taking every opportunity to stoke the spirit with the fresh corpses that empower its foul magics. As the power and influence of the Blindwater congregation has grown, so too has its dominance over lesser species that call the swamp home. Croak trappers have become a common sight, using their agility and skill with a net to trap and ensnare their foes, who become easy prey for the Croak's bloodthirsty masters. Even some Croaks have managed to carve out notoriety among the congregation, most notably the powerful conjoined Croak sorcerer, Quack Slickspine, and Gub. Their combined nature allows this creature to handle far more magical strain than other shamans of their race, a trait they employ with great mastery, whether to heal their allies, to douse their foes in caustic acids, or to curse their enemies, so even solid ground becomes nigh impossible to traverse. No clearer sign of the Blindwater congregation's ever-growing power is their dominance over the monstrous and terrifying Dracodiles. To the tribes of the Gatormen, Bogtrogs, and Croaks, the Dracodile, a reptile of immense size and ferocity, is the embodiment of their deity's essence. This primordial creature is capable of altering the ground around it to fetid swampland and spitting forth vile, corrosive acid that burns the sight from those affected. It continually stalks the battlefield with an endless hunger for living, bloody flesh. As fearsome as the Dracodile are the congregation's leaders, a peerless hunter and one of the few Gatormen to have mastered the use of the hunting rifle. Long Chops is as effective taking his prey down from afar with his heavy forge lock as he is ending a victim's life up close with his powerful jaws. Having achieved the first stage of his godhood, the ancient Gatorman Bokor, Barnabus, has become a living avatar of Kosk. His beating heart still visible within his rent chest, Barnabus commands power over death and the spirit world with absolute authority. At his will, nearby spirits stir and imbue the carnage of death that follows in his wake with unliving malice, ready to strike at his command. With a mere thought, he can send the world around him spinning into the blackness of the grave, or summon forth burning blood to rain down upon his foes. But most terrifying of all is his mastery over the ritual power of death, for in his elevated state, all followers of the Blindwater congregation are little more than fuel for his next dark ascension. Hulking brutes of muscle and bone, the blighted Ogryn of the Legion of Everblight stand apart within the dragon's army as howling monsters that slaughter without mercy or restraint. In the years since being conscripted into the Legion by Everblight's self-proclaimed messiah, Thagrosh, the blighted Ogryn have continued to evolve under the constant influence of the dragon's corrupting aura. Thundering forth on limbs formed by the Blight's mutation, the chosen of Everblight are the perfect combination of dragon spawn, draconic speed and mobility, with the ferocity and strength of the formidable Ogryn. Ogryns are born with legendary constitution, but the chosen's draconically enhanced physiology allows them to rapidly heal wounds when nourished with the flesh of the fallen. Charging into combat, the chosen of Everblight scatter lesser warriors before them, as they lash out with their wicked pole arms to tear their opponents limb from limb. Everblight has gathered many lieutenants to his legion. Blessed by dark visions, the blighted ogre known as Amok the Truthbearer marches alongside Everblight's chosen warlocks as a powerful spiritual protector, guarding against the arcane and spiritual dangers harnessed by Everblight's foes. So steeped in arcane energies is Amok that his mere presence coalesces ethereal spirits into corporeal form. Those who dare try to harness arcane power find their flesh seared and their minds ravaged. Beneath Amok's fearsome gaze, other Ogren know that death at the hands of their enemy is a far better fate than to be judged lacking by the unforgiving servant of the dragon. One creature among the Legion's many is known as the Herald of its terrifying master, a black-pinioned avatar of death. The massive vulture transformed into a war beast immediately stands apart among Everblight's ranks due to its non-dragon spawn origins. Once a faithful pet of the Ogren mystic Animag, this great carrion bird has become a fiendish war beast within the Legion, thanks to the draconic mutation of Everblight's corrupting proximity. Now, the very presence of Golab saps the living of their vitality, leaving even the hardiest creature easy prey for the grasp of death and Golab's carrion feast. Once a powerful Ogren mystic, Animag the Doom Feaster now bends her hexing powers to serve Everblight and his Legion. Animag draws her powers from death and slaughter. The blessings of strength she once bestowed upon noble Ogren warriors is now as twisted and corrupted by the blight as her people's bodies and minds are. Together with her favored war beast Golab, Animag is determined to bolster her people's position among Everblight's Legion by unleashing a tide of blood and death upon all who might dare oppose the dragon. I trust you found this information well worth my fees. I also understand you have a keen interest in the current situation in Lael, though such information falls outside my current contract, and I have quite a line of other possible clients waiting to engage my services. Out of consideration for our long-standing relationship, I would be more than willing to discuss a new contract with you to retain my formidable services. They drove us from our homes. They robbed us of our wealth. They think their armor impenetrable. They think their weapons unstoppable. They believe they stole our secrets. Soon, they will discover the error of that belief.
So our good friend Gavin Kyle was able to get us a lot of great info, but the one thing he can't crack, being spy extraordinaire.
Hold on.
No. You have to save this.
Okay.
Because the one security measure he can't crack is our P3 Studio sculpting locks. And you saw a lot of art, but now we want to do a little something and show you what to expect from the models that we have currently in progress.
We finally did it. We made a Dracodile. Is that why you're firing me with the echo thing? What was that?
I think somebody's on the roof.
Matt, can I have a Dracodile now? No. Fine, I'll stay. So, I mean, on top of all those awesome theme forces, did you guys like what you just saw up there? Would you like more?
So you'll notice that not every faction we were able to give you the theme force for yet that's coming, partially because we have to save stuff for the next keynote.
Yeah.
But also, because there's not a lot of art done for it yet. So with that in mind, we still wanted to make sure that even with our new cycle of a theme force, being the core release for a month and really focusing in on the different themes for the different factions, that every year everybody had something to look forward to.
Yep.
And so we hit upon this idea because there was a song playing that everyone might know. It had the number 12 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, hey, we have 12 factions right now when we came up
When
with
we
the
talked
idea.
about it, yeah.
And then we realized much, much later that we weren't going to have 12 factions after this year, but that was okay because for this year, we have a little video for you that presents our new song, The 12 Factions of Christmas.
So, after we finish Northkin, the next CID cycle is going to be the 12 Factions of Christmas. Because every year, we plan on making a 12 Factions of Christmas release, which will come out around December.
Technically, next year will be 13 Factions of Christmas.
That number might increase, where every faction will get a new toy, even if a Theme Force book didn't drop for you that year.
And the Grimkin one is so cool.
Yeah. Oh, for 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't talk about that yet.
When it's 13. We'll talk about that next year. Next year. So, that concludes our keynote for 2017.
How'd y'all like the keynote this year?
Thank you, everyone at home who watched with us, who checked everything out. I'm sure the videos will be on YouTube later today, so you can pour over them, grab all the screen caps you want, and start talking about what to expect from the 12 Factions of Christmas, and from all of our CDA cycles coming up, as well as what will be featured in No Quarter Prime. Sign up for the beta for Alexa, please. Sign up for Mini Crate, and it's going to be awesome. We've got a great year coming, and we have more information to reveal along the way. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, Lock and Load 2017. We're going to have a great next live stream series, which is going to be the Holden's Fate Boar's Gate, which is going to be live streamed throughout the whole thing. It's going to be crazy. We got 16 players, a massive 16-foot table.
It's time to go.
It's going to be awesome.
So enough talking. It's time to play. Welcome to Lock and Load, everybody.